Hi, this is Makonas Bokani, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I want to speak about a wonderful topic today, and I want to deal with part one of this great topic. For you as a young man, and I hope you're going to gain quite a bit out of this and learn out of this and be able to implement that which we're teaching you today. Now, as a young man, I want to speak about the topic that says adopt growth mindset and kick out the fixed mindset from you. Adopt the growth mindset and kick out the fixed mindset from you. Now, I want to speak about this because it's very important, and many people don't grow just because they don't have growth mindset. They've actually got stuck to what we call fixed mindset, and they are not aware of that. And that's the reason why today we want to bring about to your knowledge that there are mindsets that are leading you to virtually nowhere. You may be trying your best, and some of you, I know, as young men, you're spending more time in prayer and you're fasting for it because you want to progress, you want to succeed in your life. But the mindset behind you, or the mindset inside of you, is the one that's retarding your progress. And therefore, you're going to need to scrutinize the mindset that you have, and therefore make sure that what you have is what we call a growth mindset. It's not a fixed mindset, because a fixed mindset will actually pull you back when you try to become successful. And this is the reason why in part one, we want to address this and speak a little bit about elements of fixed mindset versus elements of growth mindset, and for you to see the difference. Because when you start to see the difference, then you'll move to the quotient of the other side, which is of growth mentality. So that when you move into growth mindset, you start growing. You start to see your life actually flourishing and your life getting better. Very, very important that we do so. Now, the growth mindset would say failure is an opportunity to grow according to the growth mindset. So growth mindset will speak about a failure as an opportunity to grow. Now, growth mindset never regard failure as failure, never regard failure as something that is blocking them to progress. Growth mindset sees failure differently than what we call a fixed mindset person. Because a fixed mindset will see failure, will say failure is the limit of my abilities. They will see failure as the limit to their abilities. Now, I want to clarify this, that when your mindset always, you see things that you go through, whether it's with studies and you fail and you tell yourself, the failure is going to limit my abilities, you must realize that you are actually dealing with a mindset that you need to kick out of your life. Because the right mindset is that even though I failed, I know that failure is an opportunity for me to grow. So in other words, the failure is teaching me something. Failure can always be a lesson that teaches me how to do things better. That's a growth mentality. And people that are having fixed mindset, they'll say, I cannot do anything further because I'm a failure, because they'll label themselves as failures instead of seeing failure as something that is an opportunity to grow them. They'll see it as something that limits their abilities. And most of the people that are having a fixed mindset, they never progress, or they never get out of failure. When they have failed, they sleep there, they are actually lying down there, and they don't rise up, and they don't want to move further anymore because they call themselves failures. Now, as a young man, I want you to take care of this, because that's very important. That each time you fail, because you cannot be able to articulate everything well from the first go, from the word go. You cannot be able to succeed at the first go with everything that you do. You are not the genius that you think you are, because remember, things that we deal with in life, we learn them as life goes on. And as you learn them sometimes by failing sometimes. And when you're failed, it doesn't mean that you'll fail tomorrow again. It doesn't mean that it will not happen again. So therefore, take it as an opportunity to grow. That's a growth mentality. But don't take it as a stumbling block that will be there forever. Don't take it as a limitation of your abilities. Don't take it as it means that you cannot do. No. Rise up and know that this is an opportunity for me to grow and for me to become better. So therefore, the quicker you rise up from your failures, is going to actually determine what mindset you have. Because people that are having growth mindset, they are quick to rise up from their failures. They are quick to come out of their failure mentality and therefore rise up and make sure that they try it better. Let me give you an example. So, as a young man, if you failed matric last year, and some of you might have failed your studies in university, never give up, because that was an opportunity for you to learn more. It's an opportunity for you to now succeed the next time you do. So repeat and do it again and again until you succeed, because that will actually teach you to succeed in your life. I'm saying this because this is very important, and I know we have lost many young men in this particular state, whereby they're giving up quickly because they think that failure is a limit to their abilities. So therefore, they're so fixed in their minds that failure would mean that they cannot succeed at any given time again. And I want to say to you, that's a lie from the devil. And as a young man, rise up and make sure that you seek opportunities and much more opportunities. You seek to do things differently. You seek to improve from where you failed, and make sure that you're positive enough that you will get it right one day and you'll become a better person. So that's what we call growth mentality. But I want to also mention that growth mentality is having what we call I can attitude. The I can attitude is an attitude of mind set that one has, because immediately you tell yourself you can, you're basically preaching to yourself. You're telling yourself that it is possible. It cannot fail because it is possible. So when you say I can, that words that you say with your mouth, they're basically converting your mind to start believing that you can. And when you start to believe that you can surely do. And I can attitude is very key to you as a young man in every aspect of your life. I don't know where you are. Maybe you are in university studies. Maybe you are dealing with a project that you are creating, engineering project or any other project that you are dealing with. Maybe also you are trying out something, maybe a business in your life. You need to adopt what we call I can attitude. Because the opposite attitude towards that people tend to default towards is I cannot. Many people can say, are quick to say I cannot, particularly in areas that they are not experienced in, things that you've never done before. The fact that you've never done this thing doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot. So I want to urge you as a young man that when you approach anything, even those things that you've never done before, you approach them with a positive mind of saying I can. It actually gives you a leverage to be able to do things, because the positive mind injects some energy in you to be able to do. And your mind actually opens up when you're faced with a project that you've never done before, but yet you believe you can do it. But immediately you tell yourself you cannot do it, it's a preaching to yourself. Because when you start saying that, it's actually you discouraging yourself. You'll start to feel negative energy inside of you. And majority of the people that have told themselves they cannot, they literally never woke up in the morning, because they feel, why do I wake up and waste my time? Because I know I cannot do this thing. Now, because you've wrapped yourself up, you've actually told yourself and discouraged yourself, it is going to be very difficult for you to now start recouping a mind of positivity that will tell you that I can. But you need to start developing this attitude of I can every day of your life, not in a certain incident only. There are those things that you can surely, because you've done them before. But everything that you are doing and you've done before, realize that you've done it for the first time before. So therefore, there's nothing that you find yourself having done it from birth. So most of us, you'll realize that life is about learning. We learn behaviors. We learn how to do things. We learn skills. So therefore, in that regard, so you would understand that you don't know this thing from your mother's womb. You have to learn. And as you learn, you're going to stumble and fail. You are going to arrive at a point where your mind tells you that you cannot. But I want you to refuse that temptation of saying I cannot, and therefore adopt a positive mind of saying I can, because that I can attitude, as I said, it will step you up to greater things, and you'll find yourself achieving much more greater things in your life. That's what we call growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, because the fixed mindset is actually limiting to our lives. And I want to discourage you from sticking with fixed mindsets and start moving into what we call growth mindset and start growing from where you are. I want to end up here today Your host, Makonas Pokani. Thank you very much for listening to us and be part of this great topic. And I'll deal with part 2 tomorrow. And I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you press that notification button as well so that you can be notified when we post videos going forward. And may the good Lord bless you and allow me to say cheers for now.